This is Con Café for January 17th, 2017. The title for today's devotional is called Good News and You're Invited. The passage is from Matthew 4, verses 12 to 23. Now, when Jesus heard that John had been arrested, he withdrew to Galilee. He left Nazareth and made his home in Capernaum by the lake in the territory of Zebulun and Naphtali, so that what had been spoken through the prophet Isaiah might be fulfilled. Land of Zebulun, land of Naphtali, on the road by the sea, across the Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. The people who sat in darkness have seen a great light, and for those who sat in the region and shadow of death, light has dawned. From that time Jesus began to proclaim, "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is near." As he walked by the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. And he said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fish for people." Immediately they left their nets and followed him. As he went from there, he saw two other brothers, James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John, in the boat with their father Zebedee, mending their nets. And he called them. Immediately they left their boat and their father and followed him. Jesus went throughout all of Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and proclaiming the good news of the kingdom and curing every disease and every sickness among people. Where do you go when you're sad or receive bad news? To cry? To pray? To cry and pray? To sleep? Or maybe you drive for a bit or take a walk. Such was the case with Jesus. He heard about his cousin John the Baptist having been arrested, and so he withdraws to areas he knew, and in so doing fulfills yet another prophecy about his ministry. He goes to a region where the people needed to be pulled out of darkness, and it comes with this sermon: "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven has come near." This was as much an invitation as it was a challenge. If you're tired of the way that you've been living, there is good news. You can leave behind that sin and its destructive behaviors and come into the light, into the fullness of life, where sin is removed and you're welcomed into a land of life and love. While they're in Galilee, Jesus saw two brothers, Simon Peter and Andrew, and extends to them an invitation to continue their passion for fishing, but for people instead of fish. They immediately left their nets and followed Jesus. Jesus then sees two other brothers, James and John, sons of Zebedee, also fishermen, and his invitation is accepted also immediately. They left their father and their boat and accompanied Jesus through Galilee as Jesus taught, preached good news, and cured every disease and sickness among the people. These men left everything, their vocation, their families, all to say yes to Jesus and his ministry. Nothing was now as important as being faithful to Jesus. They saw and heard the good news. They saw the power of God's love as expressed and demonstrated through Jesus' actions. People were turning away from sin and turning towards life. People who were sick were being healed and restored to wholeness. Have you heard the good news in a similar manner? Shaken and stirred up enough to leave everything behind to follow Jesus? Have you given Jesus the central place in your life and now can't find enough to do to satisfy that calling? Let's pray. Loving God, I want to follow you through Jesus. I want to be a disciple who is faithful and fruitful. I want to make others disciples as well. I want to serve you. Grant me strength, wisdom, and all that I need to be able to do this. I can do it only through the power and strength of He in whose name I pray, Jesus my Lord. Amen. Have a great and blessed day in the Lord. I'm Eladio Valverde.